Today I'll be making my own Minecraft from scratch as an isometric turn-based RPG.
Whoa! This is amazing!
Yo, wait, this is sick! I'm playing, like, the better Minecraft right now.
My objective is gonna be to make a cool first level, throw in some cave exploration, and add a working quest to tie everything together. For this huge project, I'll be using RPG in a Box, which is a pretty intuitive game engine. Alright, let's start making a model for Steve. To give everything a unique and different style that didn't just look like normal Minecraft, I decided to go with a Steve model that was a single block tall. I immediately wanted to move on to animations and gave him a nice walk cycle to use while strolling around. That looks good. Hell yeah! Since the first important goal was to make an actual custom map for Steve to move around in, what we needed was some assets. I started working on some grass, paths, water, oak planks, and oak stairs for house roofs, cobblestone for the walls, and stone to use for the cave level. This looks really good. Let me zoom in. Look at that! Filled with excitement, I immediately moved on to making oak slabs, fences, doors, signs, and a chest, which all looked really nice in game. At that point, I decided to work on a little draft of Steve's house, which would eventually be the spawn point for the player. I am physically unable to move. What is happening? I was feeling really good about this. Yo! Looking back to me, this looks like a happy, clueless child that has no idea how the harshness of adulthood will crush their soul in a few hours of developing this thing. We can rotate the camera as well. That looks smooth, dude. Going back for some more assets, I started making the villagers, which will be the main NPCs that you'll be able to talk to in the game. Alright, what's up, buddy? I also converted the grass and path models to full blocks to actually give the word floor some height, and that kinda caused a little bit of a problem. Oh no, oh no. I also made dirt, which honestly looks more like mud. Dude, that looks so much better. I really like how this is looking. At this point, I felt really confident. I was ready to just delete everything that came with the demo map I had downloaded as a test and start from scratch with the assets I had prepared. It was time to make the actual map for this game. I started placing everything I had made around, using the tools I had prepared for myself, and crazy to say, everything just kinda worked. The map was looking pretty great. Oh my god, dude. Yes! I was curious to see how Steve's model looked moving around in a newly made world, but I didn't really like the movement I had made for him. It looked sort of clunky, so I decided to add a third movement frame to make the animation look smoother, and I also made my Steve, well, better. After working on Steve's butt for about 20 full minutes, I was finally satisfied with the result. That is art. That's so good. Oh my god, dude. You seen that asset right there on the back?
Damn, he has a booty. Look at that. He has a booty.
Just zoom in a little bit on man.
Wow.
My man's got a dumpy. I was about to move on to one of the hardest steps, actually decorating the entire map. On the second day of work, I started making some more blocks so I could make the village a little livelier. I got to making leaves by just dragging my mouse around randomly, and also made some oak wood for the trees. I then moved on to the actual map design. I started off by making a tree in the corner here, started adding fences and signs, for which we'll be making a little script to add text to them. I went ahead and removed the darkness of my soul from the background skybox and instead made it sort of simulate the Minecraft sky. At this point, I decided that the houses needed a little more decoration and started working on some glass panes. I'm not entirely sure this is right, but I haven't been entirely sure any of this has been right, so I added the glass to the houses and they look pretty good. Since the map in general was a little bit too flat, I sprinkled some hills around the place which aren't really climbable yet. Not bad. I also removed the perfect straight edges here so the map would look a little rounder. This is pretty much what our level is gonna be like. Doing a bit of back and forward between the map and the houses, I went ahead and used a solid oak wood for the supporting pillars at the edges. I then cleaned up the paths that made up the main road in the village, started making an entrance to the cave, which would later become our main combat area. That's the cave entrance right there. And then I added the most important part of the village, the pond. I went back and added some initial text to the signs around the level. Do not enter. If you enter, you will die. Pond.
It's gonna just say pond. It's just gonna say pond. Yeah, it is a pond. What if it's not?
Yeah, it is. I also figured the villagers had to eat to survive, so I made a little farm for which I would not model another asset just for the crops. Genuinely, there is no way I'm just gonna leave dirt. I also added some dialogue to the little farmer there just to test dialogue out, since I had never done anything like that and I had no idea what I was doing. But honestly, that probably applies to this entire thing.
Hey, what's up, man? Hello, I'm the farmer. What do you do? I farm, Steve.
Nice to meet you. You've lived here for 16 years, Steve. What do you... Okay.
It very much is a plan to kill that man.
How do I kill him? How do I kill him?
And then I jumped in for the first big test of the new and improved village map. Yo! look at the nice little shade with this tree right here. This is working fantastically, actually. I'll be honest, I think my ego was getting a little bit too big here. I am a god amongst men. Since everything worked pretty much perfectly, I decided to work on a little Easter egg for the players to find by making a little island far away from the map and an invisible path that led there. Or not. I could not, for the life of me, get this invisible path to work. I tried making an invisible block, but that failed miserably very quickly. I then realized that if the block was first placed and then made invisible, the walkable path lines would not go away. For sure it's gonna work. And it still didn't work. I also changed the sky to a solid color from the shader I had before and tried to make the blocks to the bridge the same color so they wouldn't be visible, but the shadows didn't really agree with that, so I just left this whole invisible bridge thing for later and worked on other stuff.
There's literally nothing past this point. The world ends here. Yes and no, it must have been psychologically traumatizing knowing that this is literally the extent of the universe, but it's not my problem. I'm a sign. I want to make it really clear, do not try and go further than this point. Well, obviously I should go further than this point. Oh my god.
Since we were working on the whole game start zone, I started giving a little cleanup of Steve's house because I want him to spawn here. And then I went on to make the most frustrating and haunting thing up to that point. I wanted Steve's house to be made of 2 floors, and whenever you went up the stairs, the second floor would appear.
Oh, that was a stair!
Yeah, those were stairs. And it's just insane. And it didn't work. Steve would just become invisible, the second floor would not show up, it would not work. This was worse than the bridge. I eventually figured out I could add blocks together into groups that I could make visible or invisible whenever I wanted. Now this did not help at all in this problem, but it did solve another issue. It pretty quickly solved the invisible bridge problem. I figured that all I had to do was just make a bridge out of a literally any block, make that into a group, and just make the group permanently invisible. And yeah, it was that easy. I just didn't know what I was doing. I still couldn't figure out why the second floor would remain hidden when going up the stairs, so I just set this one aside and moved on to more stuff. Before that, I decided the water needed a little animation, so I just made it so that the texture flipped every few frames. That is literally the most lazy way to do that. I wanted to make some item to add to the initial chest outside the house here, so I decided to make an iron sword for Steve to use against zombies. I made the item texture pretty quickly and then just turned that 3D and attached it to Steve's arm with a great result, I would say. Oh no, oh my god, the sword is as big as Steve. I just made a smaller model that would actually fit in Steve's hand. Look at that, now he's got a little stabby stick.
Oh, there's another man. Is he stabbable?
Bro is dead! He is gone! Killed in cold blood! Since I already had the sword item in place and I now knew how to make items, I went on to create some sticks and some iron, which the player should be able to make into an iron pickaxe, so he could then go mine diamond, which would be our main objective for the game, and also emeralds, that you should then be able to give to a villager to complete like sort of a secondary quest. At this point we had most of everything we needed to construct the main quest in place, so it was time to start developing the actual dungeon where the action would start. I started making a separate cave map that the player gets teleported into whenever you access the blocks at the front of the entrance in the village map, and then I started to plan out how this little dungeon of ours would work. I tested out the little cave map for the first time and it was looking pretty spectacular, honestly. Let's try out the map. We are in entrance to the cave. Do not go further. This is where we're gonna find some zombies and fight them. And if we go through here, we should just get out. This is so cool! The only issue was the map being a bit too big and slow to traverse, so I fixed that rather quickly by making the character run faster on stone compared to normal grass. Since I figured out how to do that, I also made Steve just a little faster on paths to sprinkle in a little bit of detail.
Wait, is my walking speed quicker on the path?
Yeah, you walk quicker on the path.
That is a nice, fine detail. I appreciate that.
I also decided the game needed a super important element, which is always very appreciated in any game: social commentary. So I added a homeless man south of town and made him a little shed.
I'm Jerry, the homeless man. What? Jesus Christ. You tried to twit longer on me. I didn't think he was going to bring up traumatic experience. Jerry, nice to see you. Careful not to step in the piss corner. Oh, this is why I hate the homeless.
Lastly, with the cave and the weapons in place, I had to decide between 2 combat styles: classical turn-based RPG or strategic combat. Yeah, this is literally Fire Emblem. I let the chat vote and I ended up going for the turn-based system, not only because it held the majority vote, but also because it was generally simpler to make and because it held a pretty special place in my heart, as all I was doing as a kid was playing every single pixely Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy game I could get on my Nintendo DS. I finished everything up for that day, pretty satisfied with the result. results, honestly. See you tomorrow. I'll work on the quests and stuff. The following day, I was fresh and I was ready to literally finish the game. Oh, what a fool I was. I started out by introducing a little capybara model, and it's animated as well. It's probably gonna be some kind of an Easter egg. I had originally made him as a player character to test out walk animations before starting with the Minecraft project, and also because my girlfriend Roberta really wanted me to make a pixely capybara.
Can you make a capybara, please?
Okay. I decided I liked the little guy and that I would absolutely not dare waste a single voxel, and placed him in the top part of town. As with everything else that might seem secondary or just a little Easter egg, this little man ended up literally becoming the most important part of the game. The main quest of the game would be to find diamonds, and then we have the secondary quest with emeralds to give to the villager, but with the secret island and the capybara, a third secret quest was coming together. But I didn't know that yet, so I moved on to making the main enemies in the game, zombies. I just modeled them after Steve, removed the absolute payload of a butt that he had, and made them green. There's our zombie. I'm just gonna steal the animations from Steve for the walk as well. There's the walk animation right there. I went on to adding some ambient fog to the cave to make it a little more mysterious and actually feel like a dungeon. Okay, there we go. I then remembered I had left the capybara completely loose in town. This guy could just go wherever he wanted to. So I made a little group of a few blocks there and made him walk in that zone specifically so he wouldn't just get lost. I also placed the zombies I had just made in the first cave zone here, which will be the place where you get the iron later on, and I finally managed to figure out why the second floor of Steve's house was just invisible the whole time, and it was literally just because the stairs themselves needed to not be part of any group. God damn it. That was so easy to figure out. Anyway, at this point I hopped into the game so I could test out the second floor, which worked really well, and also the combat, which looked amazing. Very easy, very nice, and he's gone. I started working on the HUD to make it as close as possible to Minecraft's. I used the Minecraft font, which apparently Tommy didn't really appreciate.
Do you stay your mouse clicks? Interact by clicking on things and bumming into them. I can't believe you used the Minecraft font.
I kept some things a little different to give them a little personality, and also because I had literally zero idea how to change them. I then worked on the secondary quest for the game, finding emeralds. I made a dialogue for this villager right here with multiple choices. That was the first time I was doing that, and I don't know how that worked, but it sort of just did. I made the game check for emeralds in the player's inventory, so you would only get the option to finish the quest if you had them.
I'm pretty much out of money. I don't want to end up homeless like that guy south of town. Jeez, Republican villager.
Could you go get me an emerald from the cave?
I have a pretty nifty reward if you do. Quest added to your journal. Emerald moment. Find a way to obtain an emerald from the cave. Alright, let's do it.
And then I had to think of a reward for the quest. So I started making a gun. In much higher resolution than anything else, mind you. You know the saying, the more pixels it has, the deadlier it is. This further element of absolute chaos would also tie in a really unexpected way into our third secret quest, which at this point was still a secret to me as well, because I hadn't thought of making it yet. We have the Glock now.
Here it is. Oh! Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, alright.
The villager has given you a gun?
Steve in Detroit.
Completely glossing past that, I made these zones in the cave into groups for the zombies to spawn in. I added the option for the player to pet the capybara because, you know, let's be honest, people are gonna wanna be able to pet the damn capybara.
It's a capybara!
There you go!
You gently pet the capybara.
Yeah, dude!
I love you, little friend. I'm going to call you Little Tom.
I then worked on making the ore blocks that would give us iron, emerald, and diamond, essentially ending 2 quests of the game just by obtaining them. I then attempted to make UI for an actual crafting menu, but gave up almost instantly because I could not be bothered to potentially add another day of work just for a dumb little stupid menu. Instead, I just made a crafting table model and made it remove 2 sticks and 2 iron bars from your inventory when used, and made it give you the iron pickaxe as a result. Crafting table, do your work. Yes! And then I walked Steve's absolute unit of an ass over to the cave to test out mining the ores. And the cave was loading infinitely. It's loading the map infinitely. Why is it doing this? Something had happened within the cave level which caused the game to go into a permanent loading screen that would force you to quit the game. Are you joking? I didn't know if it was the map just not being able to load the entirety of Steve's dump truck or something else. Why does it not load? But after hours of tries to fix it, I just had to remake the whole thing from scratch. We'll just make a new cave, new map. This was the absolute worst and most frustrating part of the entire thing. After a whole day of high productivity, I felt like I was actually close to finishing everything, but I just had to waste a few hours just carefully remaking the cave. And once that was pretty much done, I closed the program and begrudgingly went to bed for an unexpected 4th day of work the next morning. On the 4th day, I was ready to finish this thing. Since I had a whole extra day, I decided to go overboard. I made a level for this villager house and moved the whole Emerald Quest prompt inside there. Amazing. Okay, then I caught a rodent that was skulking around in my basement, and then I worked on an idea that I had. The game had to have a nice, proper, final secret boss. So I got to work and modeled a fully functioning, but having Among Us imposter that would spawn whenever you interacted with the sign on the secret island, play a vine boom sound, and start a secret boss battle. Too difficult to beat with normal weapons.
Prepared to be vaporized? What? Dude, I got a gun.
I also figured out how to make character portraits, and I made it so they would just show up during dialogue. I also made a stone pickaxe for Steve to find in his house, so he'd have something to mine the initial iron with. Taking down a tree with punches is fine, but I felt like being able to obliterate literal rock with your fist would put him on a godly level that I'm honestly kind of afraid to imagine. So, you know, I just gave him a pickaxe. Everything was finally ready and in place. I tested the game out a few times to absolutely decimate the remaining bugs and missing features. I then decided the game needed a real ending. Sure, finding diamonds was the main quest and all, but the game needed a proper send-off after finishing all the side content and beating the secret final boss using a literal firearm. So I made an apple, assigned it as a drop for the imposter, and added an interesting little description to it. You'll find out quite soon what that does. I cannot move! I am forever locked in this state! I guess we're done. Now everything was actually done, and I was ready to let my dear fellow creators and friends try it out.
Another day, another opportunity to look for diamonds.
This is a... Oh, dude, I'm not even...
You seen that asset right there on the
Oh,
back?
damn, he has a booty. Look at that. He has a booty.
My man's got a dumpy.
Jet, loot, 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 loot.
There you go.
Yes.
Whoa. Oh, here we go.
Hey, Steve, are you thinking of going into the cave?
I wouldn't do that. My buddy Eric died.
Shut up.
Right, is this the cave? No, this is just someone's home.
Just enter the man's house with a sword.
Yo,
Could you go get me an emerald from the cave?
cave. Super dangerous. Do not enter. If you enter, you will die. Emeralds. Emeralds.
Do not go further. Shut up, sign.
Oh,
Ah! An enemy!
yo, wait, this is sick. Whoa. Okay, attack.
What should I do? Do nothing.
Bro, Jesus! Why would you even put that in the game?
Let's
Alright,
dig
you're gonna wanna
let's
click
dig
on
some
those.
things.
You're gonna
Oh.
wanna click on those because there is some issue with. Okay,
Is there an issue with them?
there. No. It's all no. That's normal.
The sound effect for mining iron is just...
Yeah, you know it kind of is. Have you noticed
I want the
Steve's
emerald.
walk like up close? Just zoom in a little bit on man. Have you noticed?
Wow,
he's got
what a
some.
man.
Yeah, he's got some of that juice in there.
Oh, Jesus, Toiu. Pull yourself together, man. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna take the right path because it's obviously the right one.
The right path, I guess, is the right one. Yeah, that makes sense.
We're gonna dig it. Oh, I need an iron pickaxe. All right.
I need an iron pickaxe.
Oh, you're kidding me. How could I have been so blind?
How could you, Tommy? Really
God.
dumb
God,
move.
you're
on
shaming me.
on
You're
your side.
shaming me, Toiu.
Yeah,
No,
that was really
stop
dumb.
this.
I know
Stop.
you.
How can I forget the first step of Minecraft? Punch wood.
You punched wood. Almost broke your wrist.
Oh, I love this. I should be doing this more.
I got 2 sticks. Now wait just a minute.
I need iron pick.
Yeah.
Oh, he just auto-crafted that.
Yeah, of course.
My God, it's uranium. Nope, it's emerald.
Nice. You beat the game.
Side quest.
It's a capybara.
Oh, is that capybara? The capybara. He seems to like it. Oh, I love you, little friend.
Great to see you again, Steve. Do you have the emerald? Here it is. Oh,
Hey there, Republican. Great to see you again, worker. Oh my God. There's literally nothing past this point. The world ends here. Oh my God.
oh my God. Gonna go here.
You're going for it, huh?
You really thought you did something, huh? Going out of the map like that. Prepared to be vaporized? What? Dude, I got a gun.
You got a gun. Are you okay, Tommy?
Among Us. I died to the hands of Among Us.
Oh, let's go. You beat the Among Us. Congrats. You actually beat the game now.
This is it, Among Us.
This is it. Oh, wow.
99.
Wow. Wow.
Have this apple as a reward. Seems like a perfect food for Cuppy. I go.
Have this apple as a reward. Now, if I give the apple to the capybara,
Cuppy poo poo. Kapoo papa. Give the apple.
what happens now?
What?
transform it.
Yo, that's it.
Just like in normal Minecraft.
What? I did it!
There you
That
go.
is so cool.
Oh, Jimmy, this is so good!
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
Mojang wishes they made a game like that, bro.
Guys, this is an epic gamer moment. +1 sub.
Well, there it is. If you'd like to have a copy of the game, you can find that over on my Patreon. It's gonna be slightly different, so that Mojang doesn't sue me into the ground. Over there, you can also find the extended gameplay cuts with Tommy and Fundy and some other really cool stuff. For the full background on how the game was made, you can go over to my Twitch channel, where I streamed the entire process. And right now, the coolest thing you can do is watch another video of mine, so YouTube is happy. Alright, that's it. Click on this other video, watch another one. Thank you very much. Ciao!